I'm scared. Scared of the metric system. Scared of anything that's new. I'm scared of measuring in Celsius, Kelvin, grams, meters. It's very scary. Today we're going to go over the metric system. We're going to find out why the metric system is not scary like I am. Okay, the metric system, commonly known, you're going to hear it called the System International or SI units. It's not a scary thing. It's really pretty easy. The English system is the scary thing. Yeah, I know we're used to miles, we're used to Fahrenheit, we're used to pounds. Those things are nice, they're comfortable in our world. But in the world of science, we just don't see them very much. So I want to go over some things and why the metric system is a good thing, something that we want to see. It's a unit of 10, okay? Everybody go by tens. We have a little decimal point. It's nice. All we have to do is move stuff over. It really is pretty cool. Alright, so in the metric system we have prefixes, things to show that we have varying amounts, because sometimes you have something that's really, really big, or sometimes you have something that's really, really small. We want to put it into usable numbers. These letters that you see up here, you've probably been familiar with. You've probably seen them in from the time you're probably in the 4th or 5th grade. Okay, these are your prefixes for the metric system. K for kilo, H for hecto, D, the big D, is for deca. The B that's underlined, that's the base. That's our units that we're kind of used to hearing. Gram, second, meter. That's what would go in that spot. The little d is deci, the C is centi, and the M is milli. We've got a few more things, but that's kind of our base ones that we're going to work with most of the time. I'm going to go over a couple mnemonic devices that will help you do that. The first mnemonic device is one that's probably similar to one you've heard before. King Henry died by drinking chunky milk. Okay, so that gets our K, H, D, B, D, C, M. The one I use, it might be a little bit more crude, but it helps me remember it, is Kyle has diarrhea but doesn't care much. Okay, so whatever you use to figure those out, that's fine by me, but you definitely need to know those base ones. Okay, in this class we are going to extend it out from there, so let's just go ahead and extend that out real quick like. Get my pen ready. Alright, we're going to go down first. Okay, so I'm going to leave a couple blank spots here. Now the reason that they're blank is because that is going to be the 10,000th and 100,000th place. Those things, they're just numbers that don't matter to us. So they're placeholders, but that's all they are. The one that we come to first, though, is going to be the Greek letter mu. Okay, it looks like a little U that has the a big tail up front. So that's what that is. That's mu. It's for micro. Okay, so it's small. It's smaller than milli. Okay, it's 1,000 times smaller than milli. Okay, then we have two more places. And then we have an N. That's the Greek letter nano. That's where you get the terms like nanotechnology. When they're talking about nanotechnology, they're talking about stuff that's really, really small. Okay, so if micro was a millionth, this is a billionth. Okay, so we're getting really, really small. We're also going to work our way up a little bit. Okay, kilo is the 1,000th. We're going to go up from there. 1. We don't care about 10,000. We don't care about 100,000. But we do care about 1 million. So with our million, we're going to have a big M. That big M is mega. Okay. Then we're going to go 2 up from there. Giga. And why not? Let's go up a couple more. And we have a big T for tera. Okay, you might have been able to see these things a little bit more often. When I was a kid, we talked about kilobytes. Okay, talk about a kilobyte of memory. Okay, now you see more mega. If you're talking about a megabyte for like, if you have a flash drive or whatnot, or gigs. That's probably more often what you're going to see now is gigs of memory. If you want to buy an external hard drive or something, you're going to see a T for a terabyte. Okay, those are just the prefixes. That just tells you how much of a byte. Okay, so you're already using the metric system and you don't even know it. All right, so we're going to go with some just quick little examples here, things that you're going to see throughout the day. I'm going to use the unit of a flarg. Okay, a flarg has no meaning. It's just going to help us to get what we want to get done today, which is look at the units itself as far as like the prefixes. Okay, so the unit we want to start with today, we want to do 4, let's go with a hectaflarg. And we say a flarg is represented by an F. Okay, so I wrote an H in front of the F. The H is the only thing that we're looking for. The H is your prefix. Okay, so if we look at the prefixes, the thing that comes first, that's going to tell us what degree it is of the actual thing. So in this case, it's a flarg. So we have 4 hectaflargs. And I would like to convert that into centiflargs. Okay, and I know it's a centiflarg because I look for the C. Okay, so I want to know how many hectaflargs or how many centiflargs are in a hectaflarg. Okay, so this is how I'm going to do it. Okay, I'm going to count how far away the H is, or the hecto, is from the C. Okay, so if I'm doing that, I'm going to pretend that I'm standing on the H. Okay, so I am standing right on the H. Okay, so I'm right here. And I am going to walk to the C. Okay, and that's going to be how many steps? 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. And that's going to be in the right direction. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write my 4 again. Now, the 4 doesn't have a decimal point there because the decimal point would say that we have measured to a particular point. Now, in this case, though, we're going to pretend that there's an imaginary decimal point and we're going to put it in there. So if I have a decimal point right there, I need to move it as many times as I moved over from hecto to centi. Okay, so in this case, I moved over 4 places, and I moved over 4 places to the right. So I'm going to do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4 places. Then I'm going to put a new decimal point in. Okay. Now you'll notice I've also got little egg baskets now. Okay, so I can go into the store and get a carton of eggs. I'm going to drop my eggs in there. Okay, this is where writing neatly comes in as a benefit. Okay, if you don't write neatly, you don't know how many eggs to drop in. Write neatly. Take your time. Okay, so if I look at this, I get rid of my decimals now. I will see that I have 40,000, and now I need to put a name to it, centiflargs. It is that easy. Okay. Now, here's our base units. Here's the units that the SI units, that's what they're going to call them, is their base units. Now, the unit for length is going to be meter. Okay, it's represented by the little letter M. Kilogram is kg. It's mass. Now, a lot of times people hear mass, the base unit is kilogram. They want to say, whoa, 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 whoa. The base unit should be gram. Well, the base unit as far as what you're going to put onto your list when you're doing the King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk or chunky milk, that was fine. But when we're talking about the base unit, what the SI unit uses, they use kilograms. Okay, time is going to be second. Electric current is going to be ampere. Temperature is Kelvin, not Celsius. Okay, because that's an absolute temperature. We'll talk about that later. We won't talk about candela very much, at least not in this class, and we will talk about mole extensively when we talk about amounts of a substance. Okay, so the ones that we're going to cover quite a bit are going to be meter, kilogram, second. Ampere we might cover a little bit. Kelvin we talk about a lot, and the mole we talk about a lot. So we talk about a lot of base units. Okay, you have an assignment for tomorrow. Okay, you have to have this done before you come to class. Okay, you just have to convert a few things. It shouldn't take very long. You do have to show your work. You can't just Google these, although Google is great for checking your answers. But you need to go ahead and convert these problems. Make sure you write them down. They do not need to be in your notebook, but make sure you have them done for Tuesday. All right, we've had another successful run here, and we will see you tomorrow.